A pleasant to all of you. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself. I am Jiro Palugan, studies Bachelor's of Science in Psychology at National Teachers College. I want to share with you about how I do my learning during this pandemic or quarantine. Since we're in pandemic, we're studying through online or modular learnings, but we experience a lot of things and in our lives routine, of course, by communicating, we use internet connection. So I want to share some materials and things I'm used during online class in the midst of pandemic. First is Wi-Fi or data connection. We can study and communicate others without internet connections. Second is laptop with charger. We can study through online class and communication without materials using like laptop. Of course, the third one is mouse. I use this to be able to quickly click information in laptop. So next is cellular phone. We can communicate others and study wherever you are without using this. Next is earphone. I don't like to forget whenever am I a thing that can help me to clearly understand the lessons via online. Next is camera. My cousin bought me this at Shopee and it's so nice to use and good to use. So how I do my learning during pandemic? A day is a process that we learn something in our life and it's like a lesson with studying in our modular or even in online class. To be honestly, until now, I have adjustment to studying because for me, the face-to-face classes is the one that the best thing to understand the lesson. But since we're in the midst of pandemic, we understand and I realized that studying is a process that you must be focused even you're studying via online or face-to-face. I am pleased when face-to-face are yet, whereas a pandemic comes so that the class will be suspended and it will cause that learnings through online or modular. In my everyday routines of life, to be honestly, sometimes I wake up early before the online class starts, but most of the time I woke up lately and for a few minutes class will starting. I don't like online classes for the answers taken through apps or maybe from Google or online sites, especially if some classes have exam. I realized that a student can search via online while taking an exam. So I realized that yes, it will be helpful. It will be helpful and it can quickly search and study the lesson because technologies are filled and exploration as long as you'll be using in a good manner and not for deceit. I'll share something about how to study and have an eagerness for studying. First, think about your future and you want. It can help to remember what you'll be in the future. For example, why are you studying Introduction to Psychology? This subject can help and give information about scope in psychology. Second, think about your parents. This is the one I realized that it can be an inspiration why you must study. For our parents, for our families working and they gave a lot of financial support to us. For soon, I must aim to bring back what they gave to us. Third, think about God's will. If it's the will of God, why would you stop? Also, you can't go with your future without God. Maybe for His will, it can be better for your life and for Him. Lastly, if you're studying, you'll be read in advance so that if the class starting or if the class is study, you'll understand what your teachers about it to teach. Avoid social media. Avoid social media irrelevant about studying. Based on my experience, as long as you touch your phone and scroll Facebook and use Messenger while you're studying, it can help me to focus and study well. But as I've said a while ago, it depends on you if you use it for good or for something irrelevant. You can look at your previous books, elementary, junior high school, senior high school, to easily understand and to remember what you've studied before. You can search on Google to read and YouTube to watch you studied. You can print lesson or modular learning and you'll be able to read and highlight the important details. Of course, before You attend your class and start to read. Eat first and pray before you start on all things you want to make. And that's the thing that I want to share, the tips and how I do my learning during pandemic or quarantine. Be focused, maintain, and balance in relevant.